Wolfchase Toyota Insider of the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Richard Mulrooney, first-year head coach at the University of Memphis. You were here a year ago, but you're in charge now, and UAB's coming up this weekend. Just your first year leading the Tigers. I guess excited to get going.
Very excited. You know, obviously joining here in February, being the assistant the year before. It's been a long time coming, but I needed every day of it. You know, my staff's done a great job. Obviously, I needed that time to bond with the players. Preseason's been great, but it's hard to believe that, 3 days from now we'll open up the regular season at UAB, but couldn't come soon enough, and we're excited.
I guess it's a little bit different. You received the head job in the spring, and we had talked at that point, but now you're in game mode. You played your exhibitions. You're ready to get started with the regular season. How does it feel? Is there any difference between when you took that job early this spring until right now?
I wouldn't say so much. I mean, I think the final goal is you just want to win. And I wanted to win as an assistant coach. I wanted to win as a player. And being a head coach, that doesn't change. I want to win. I want to lead this program to levels that we've never been before. But you got to take baby steps with it. And I think this preseason's been great. And quite frankly, we still have 3 days of preseason. Even though we started class and we're down to 1 practice a day, we still have 3 days of practice that we need before we get to the UAB game. And we're going to use every minute of it wisely.
But you spent a year here under Richie, and then you've been an assistant at some other places following your MLS career. And, of course, the answer is going to be yes. You're going to ask every coach, do you feel your experiences prepare you to be a head coach? But has it progressed how you thought it would be so far in the few months you've had the job?
It has been, and I think that's a mixture of a lot of reasons. Obviously, Robert, my assistant coach, has done a great job leading me in the way, and the fact that he's been here longer than any of us. I brought Tony along from Stetson, and his experience as an assistant coach down there has helped guide me in the right way, and I think I've got some attributes that obviously have led me in the right way as well. So you mix all that together and the good group of players that we have, it's a good chemistry that I like what's growing here, and I'm excited to see where it takes us, not only for the UAB game, but for the season in general. I mean, we've got high expectations, and I'm hoping to reach all those.
And how has the dynamic been between you and the players? Because it does take on a little bit of a transition when you move out of that assistant's role into the head coach's job.
I think it's been a smooth transition. I've been able to relate to the players on the field and off the field. Going through it as a player, I remember what I did and didn't like of preseason. I've tried to knock out what I didn't like. Even though kids don't like the fitness part, we still have to do that.
I was say you didn't knock out the running. I know
that's
that.
right.
Yeah.
But having said that, everything else, I think we've done a good mixture with my staff of having meals away from the university, having meals at the university, mixing different types of training sessions. Just things that I remember as a player, knowing what I liked, giving that to my players, but at the same time preparing them, because obviously we can't just have fun each and every day. We've got to get ready, or else we might have a long season, and that's not what I'm here to do.
And I know we talked in the spring about the fact that you were put in a good situation. You took over for a solid, established program that was on a good footing, a good foundation. You didn't have to come into a program that had struggled and you're rebuilding from the start. Richie just had found an opportunity he wanted to take out in California, and you're left with a really good foundation. You don't have to start from scratch or anything.
No, I don't. No, and like you just said, Richie left a foundation that it's easy to build upon. Obviously we've added some pieces after Richie left that are huge pieces, but at the same time, we're not starting from scratch, and quite frankly, the expectations are to build upon that and not only reach to the levels that Richie got to, but take it past that, and I think we're built to do that.
We'll talk about a couple of your players here in just a second. The American Conference, your second year in the American, but it has changed a little bit. There'll be some familiar teams coming back in from our old Conference USA days, and there's some pretty solid teams coming back into the fold.
Absolutely. Tulsa is a top 25 team. We're looking forward to playing them. We played them in preseason last year. They're a solid game. Obviously, Louisville left, but we played them in preseason, and that's a relationship we're going to look to continue. And then you still have your Connecticut, you have SMU. If you don't show up on the day of the game, you're going to lose, and that's the way I like it. To be the best, you got to beat the best, and I feel as though our conference gives us that opportunity that if you win the games, you're going to move up in the rankings and you'll be rewarded for it.
You'll be relying on a lot of players to be successful this year. Just a couple to mention, though. Chandler Gagnon's one of your standouts. Cody Uzcategui, of course, Raul Gonzalez.
Yes, all three of those are main parts. I mean, Cody in the back of the nets, he had his first year to start last year, and he had a solid year, and I'm looking for him to build upon that even more and take that leadership role to the next level. Chandler's moving from a left back spot to a defensive midfield spot, and he's accepted it with open arms. He's done great, and I think he's in a reap the benefits of really having a good summer playing away in Mississippi, and I think we're going to see a different Chandler this year than we saw last year. And obviously, Raul's just a special player. I mean, we relied on him as a true freshman last year, and even more so this year. But I think the difference is we have some more quality from players growing up into sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and as well as freshmen that came in that are going to get seen playing time right off the bat. And you mix all that together, it's going to be a solid group that I've got nothing but high expectations for.
Let's talk about Friday night. Going to go down to Birmingham to play UAB. It's a team you guys are familiar with. You've played in each other's tournaments in the past. They're a close team. You can play them every year. They're always a very, very good team to play. Obviously, the main priority, the goal of any game is to win the game. But other than winning, what do you try to get out of the season opener?
I would say that we go in and just have a respectable showing in the fact that, I think we learned from our preseason game against Louisville. We gave up 2 goals in the first 10 minutes. And while it wasn't pleasing to see, I think it was a learning factor, and I think we won't see that again against UAB. Not saying that was going to happen, but at the same time, I have a feeling that the freshmen learn from those mistakes that we made. Our upperclassmen will show more leadership, and that we need to start the game off quicker than the Louisville game. And like you just said, UAB is a solid athletic team that they'll punish you. I think they've scored 7 or 8 goals in their first couple preseason games, so they have the firepower. So we've got to be organized, not only on the back line, but how we're going to be organized in the midfield and how we're going to press up top. So we've got to be smart with that, and quite frankly, when we get opportunities, we're going to have to finish them, because it's not a game that we're going to have 10, 12 shots that are quality. We're going to probably get 2 or 3 of them, and we're going to have to finish at least half of those to have a chance in this game. But just as long as we take the next step forward, if a win comes along with that, great. If not, if our team learns from it and we take the next step forward in the fact that we're ready for the SIUE game, I'll take that. But I have a feeling that we're going to have a good showing, and I like our chances of getting a result out of it.
You mentioned Edwardsville. Chance to come home pretty early, right after UAB. Next Wednesday, you'll be back at Mike Rose.
Exciting. Our first home game for the regular season against a quality team. They're right outside of St. Louis. I know a few of their players and the traditions that they have there. So by no means is it a cakewalk. No game this year is a cakewalk, but at the same time, it's a game that we're comfortable with, in the fact that we're finally home and get to play in front of our home fans in our own stadium, and it can't come soon enough as well.
And to wrap things up, Coach, as we start the Mulrooney era Friday night officially with the first official game, of course you've got to adjust to your personnel that you have, but what do you want to establish as when a fan comes out to Mike Rose to watch Tiger soccer? What style are you going to try to get going here at Memphis? Is it much different style, faster, possession style, or what will be the Mulrooney era? I
would say that we are a technical team. We like to keep possession of the ball and knock it around. But at the same time, if a team comes and presses us, we're not foolish enough to just pass it around and then give up a cheap goal. We can be direct. But I think the good thing about our players is they can adapt to a lot of different styles. At the end of the day, we'll find out what's most successful for us. And I think if and when we're able to get those wins, I think fans will leave happy, and we'll leave happy, because at the end of the day, yes, we're looking to win and make it a successful year. And winning never gets old.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Richard Mulrooney, I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.